Well, the rising cost of tuition fees has become a contentious issue in many countries since the global financial crisis. Today, our reporter Chen Xuan talked with Ruth Simmons, president of the American Brown University, to find out a solution in the situation in the U.S. and what Chinese students bring to international universities. She started by asking about the rules Britain has introduced to make it harder for people with a poor level of English to obtain student visas.
Mrs. Simmons, very good to have you on the show. Currently, we had a bit of visa issue with, I think, Britain in particular. Obviously, visa issue is very important. If you can't get the visa, you can't go to the country to study. But at the same time, many British universities, they're raising tuition fees for overseas students. So what is your take on that, about the visa issue and also about the tuition fee?
First of all, universities in the United States are constantly urging Congress and the government to relax visa standards because we are constantly recruiting students from abroad. We're also recruiting faculty from abroad. So for us, a more open system is very advantageous. As regards the issue of tuition, we don't have separate tuition fees for international students at Brown. And by and large, within the United States, private institutions are very different from public institutions. So in differentiating, the state universities, what we call the public universities in the United States, have their own tuition issues because of the economic crisis and the lack of resources now coming from certain states. They have to increase tuition. But that tuition increase also affects U.S. students from outside the state. So it's a very complicated financial environment right now to support higher education. But as far as Brown is concerned, there is no difference in tuition between international students and domestic students.
Why? Why Chinese students are such a huge attraction to U.S. universities?
Well, speaking frankly, China itself is so important on the world stage. So naturally, if you're worrying about positioning yourself for the future, you have to be in the places that matter. And China, quite frankly, matters greatly today. In addition to that, of course, based on the educational system in China, there have just been so many wonderful accomplishments in the educational system. So Chinese students are tough, they are very competitive, they are very interested in education, and here I have to credit the culture of this great country because families in China appreciate education. They provide opportunities for their children to be educated, and all the way up along the line, by the time they come to us, they have a very high value on education, and this is very important to us, of course.
So can you describe the procedure of you enroll a Chinese student to us? Any interesting stories? So first of all, definitely the exam result, and then do you have interview with them, or how do you view all the applications?
Well, we have such a large number of applications that we can't possibly interview all students. That means that the application itself has to form a picture. What the students write about themselves, what others say about them, so the recommendations that we receive from their professors, that matters a good deal. So we take it as a given that the students who apply to us have a high degree of ability to perform in academic subjects. That's a given. But what we look for is we look for the personal development. Are they involved in something unique? Have they created something unique? What are their personal qualities? Have they had very difficult circumstances in which to achieve? So we look for the personal story, really. That's what we're looking for.